Hi scrappy friends, welcome back to my channel. So today we are working on our third video in the third round of keeping it simple, and we are working with using a block to stretch across our pages to create some continuity and some flow among our pages. We're working with this sketch right here. And if you haven't seen the last 2 days, I will link the entire playlist. Actually, I will link the entire playlist at the end of this video, as well as video number 1 to get you started in this current series. So if you look at the sketch, you'll see that there's a block running through the center of the 2 pages. So half on one side and a full block on the second page, as well as a very simple border running across the top. We're taking those 2 ideas and we're manipulating them in ways that we can take this sketch, twist it, turn it, do different things in order to make simple pages, but using that same concept of a block with a simple border. There are so many different ways to add a block to your page. There's numerous ideas, and none of these are my original ideas. As you can tell from the sketch, did not come from me. It came from the Creative Memories Virtual Crop Facebook page. It's such a great concept to get simple pages done, but yet we're using beautiful paper and beautiful embellishments, and then our pages just come out beautiful all on their own. So today we're going to dive in and we are going to look at another way to use this sketch idea using a block and a simple border. For today's layout, I'm going to dip into the new Creative Memories Golden Harvest paper collection, and I'm going to focus primarily on the Tone on Tone paper pack. I'm going to use, I have a scrap here of this ombre orange watercolor paper. On the back is a gorgeous lined paper. For my background, I will be using this beautiful greenish blue watercolor paper. And then for my block today, I will be using this beautiful wood grain paper. I love this paper. It's probably my favorite one in the whole pack, and you can see why. It's so beautiful and it just looks so nice with these other 2 papers. Okay, let me clean this up really fast. Okay, so I'm going to pop that sketch up there in the corner so that we can follow along as I go through this. So as I said, this is going to be my background. And if you look at the sketch, and if you are familiar with the last 2 videos, you know that we kept 1.5 inches up at the top on each side, and then we also did about 1.5 inches at the bottom. So as I was explaining at the beginning of this video, there are so many ways to manipulate it. You can bring your block down here. You can do like we did yesterday and trim off a little bit around the edge and pull it in so that they meet in the middle. But what we're going to do today is we are going to slide our block to the top, and we're going to put the full 3 inches, 1.5 inches from the top and 1.5 inches from the bottom, and we're going to use it at the bottom only. I'm going to bring in my gray 12 by 12 mats so we can kind of take a better look. So I want about a 3-inch section at the bottom. So that's going to be right about there at the 9-inch mark here and the 3-inch mark there. So now I've pushed that block all the way up to the top of the page. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to make a 9 by 12 inch block of this, and we're going to do a 3-inch piece down here. Okay, let me grab my 12-inch trimmer and we are going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to make a 12-inch block from this. Now, this is a directional piece of paper. I want the planks in the wood to be going horizontal, so I am going to turn it. The other side of this wood grain is my second favorite piece, so I am definitely keeping these for another project. I love that deep dark maroon look. Okay, so we could just take our block, and we want to make this really simple. We could just adhere it straight down onto the green watercolor paper. But this is a brand new collection for me. I want to try and save some of it for future layouts. So I am going to trim off this piece and weld it underneath with some washi tape to make it look like it is a full sheet of paper. The back side of this is a white with some very light gray fall icons, leaves, branches. Very nice. Okay, so that's going to be that. Okay, so this big piece I will save for a future layout, so that makes me very happy. So now to weld these together, I'm going to flip them over, line them up on my mat. Love my mats, especially when I'm doing a double page layout. I can line everything up. It's so quick, and all the measurements run down all four sides of the mat. So super nice. Then this bottom piece I'm going to put in the corner, and of course you're going to see my overlap there. That's why I wanted a little bit extra so that I can overlap. Wow, that's pretty beautiful too. And I have some really interesting glares on my screen today, so let me adjust that. Okay, now I'm going to take some washi tape. I have this thick washi. I'm not even sure where this came from. I think my daughter had bought this and then didn't need it for need all of it for a project, so I inherited it. But it's perfect for what I want to do here. And you don't have to go to edge, but you can if you want to. I'm just going to put it right down there in the center. Washi tape is great because it tears so easily. I'm going to put another piece. Okay, there we go. Let's flip that back over. Here's our basic layout. We have our block now at the top. The only margin of our background page is down here, and we're utilizing the whole 3 inches, the 1.5 from the top and the 1.5 from the bottom. We've just pushed our block up. So now what we're going to do for our border, let's get that done first. I'm going to pull in this orange ombre piece of paper, and I'm also going to bring in the pyramid keyhole border making cartridge, and I'm going to use that to create 2 borders, for the one for each side. Okay, so I did it on both sides just for filming purposes, but of course you can do one at a time if you prefer. So just for some added fun and to use our tools, I'm going to bring in my 12-inch decorative trimmer. I just want to give this a little bit more personality, so I thought it would be fun to cut it off the paper. This pyramid keyhole border making cartridge is an edge punch, so it does stay attached until you cut it off the paper, and that way you can decide how big of a border you want to keep on each one. So I'm just going to do that a little differently today, and I'm going to use this outside wave cutter to slice off my border from the page. Okay, I'm just going to hang the keyhole off the edge of the paper just to make sure that I have something I'm guiding it by. You can use any width that you would prefer. Okay, and there we go. Super cute. We're going to put that over there like that, and then I'm going to turn it around and do the same thing on the other side. Again, I am just going to line up the little keyhole at the end of the with the edge of my trimmer, just for some consistency. Okay, layout. Okay, so before I go on, before I put away my decorative trimmer, I do want to try one other feature, and I'm going to bring in some navy cardstock. So navy is a corresponding cardstock for this Golden Harvest collection, and I'm going to give myself a little trim of navy to maybe tuck in behind the orange border and the green background piece of paper. Okay, and I just need a little bit of a wave. Okay, and it's going to look something like this, just to kind of break up those two papers because they are pretty similar. And then I'm just going to do something like that. I think that is super beautiful. Let me just turn this around. And I just went up to the second line on my trimmer. I know it's hard to see on this old style trimmer, but it's the second line is what I went up to. So I just need a little piece. And there we go. And now I can put away my paper and my decorative trimmer. Okay, so there we go. I'll make sure that these are aligned perfectly before I adhere them down, but it will look like that. So now let me show you the photos that I'm going to use for this fall layout. I'm going to use these photos of a day trip my husband and I took out to a local family-run farm. They have a farmer's market as well as all these beautiful pumpkin displays, and it was just picture perfect fall day that day. And so I just have a lot of photos. I do need a feature photo right over here. I like how our sketch has that. I want to continue that. Next to it, I need to have our long photos, which I am okay overlapping into my border. So I'll be trimming this one down and trying to keep that one as vertical and long as possible. On the other side, now here's a picture of the entire farmer's market. I love that photo, so I want to put that one down here. Now we're using 3 inches here, so it's quite a bit. We can play with moving down our border just a tad if we would like, so we'll keep that in mind. And then I have a couple photos. Again, I'm going to take up the title spot in our sketch with a horizontal photo. I rarely have big giant titles like that, but I do occasionally, and I do love that, doing that, so I wouldn't rule that out completely. And then I'll trim this one down to probably a 4x4. I do need to make sure I'm saving somewhere to journal because I would like to journal about this day. Let's see here. And then the rest that I don't use in this layout, I probably will use for another layout because this is actually 2 different stops during our outing. Okay, I think I will go with that one. Okay, let me put the rest aside and I will have to consider how I'm going to use those later. I don't really want to cover up too much of the pumpkins. Okay, so let's cut a few of our photos down. This one I know for sure I want to try and make it a 4x3 or as close to that as possible. So let's trim off a lot of that bottom. Okay, so I think I got it to a 4x3 1/4, so that's not bad. So I will trim this one a little bit to make up some of the difference. Okay, over here I did want to cut this down to a 4x4. Let's see, okay, if I could fit all that in. So I want the word pumpkins to stay in, so it looks like that will fit nicely in with my template. Maybe a little bit lower so I'm not cutting off my husband's foot. There we go. And then this one I would like to keep as much as possible. It shows all the different gourds that they have. And then let's trim this one down. Let's see. I can actually trim a little bit off of here. And then on this one, I am going to take off a little bit at the top and then use, if I need to overlap, I will overlap like that. So remember in our other layouts, we kind of overlapped all of those. Okay, I need to bring in a piece of paper to mat this over here. I want to be consistent. I love that look on the sketch, so I want to continue it over here. So I'm going to pull in this piece of paper. This came from the Golden Harvest designer paper pack, whereas everything else came from the Tone on Tone. I'm going to bring it in, mat my photos. I'll probably do these over here and possibly these on that side, even though I've now, okay, I'll probably trim these to match. Now let's do that. Let's trim those to match because I do have some dead space right there at the top that I can get rid of, so that's easy. Okay, so let's start with this one. These are 4 inches wide, so I know that I like a thin mat. So I will trim to 4 1/4. If you like a wider mat, then of course you would want to trim a little bit wider. And then these are also 4 inches. Yep. So I will 4 1/4 inch strip, and I will mat these right on top of here, leaving a little space in between. I did this wrong. Okay, I was going to do it as a block and I did it as a strip, but that's okay. I will do them individually. Okay, not a problem. Just a little bit of a tweak now, but all is good. Let me go ahead and get these matted on here. I will get my borders adhered so they stop moving around, and I will get all the photos adhered to the layout, and then I will come back and we will get ready to do some embellishing. Okay, hold on. Okay, I'm back and I have everything adhered down. So over here, you're gonna see I made that mistake in cutting the paper, but when I matted them, I just pushed them together, and you could, in person, you can see the seam a little bit, but it's not too bad, and I'm fine with it. So I just wanted to show that I still got my same effect that I wanted, even though I miscut the paper. So never really a mistake in scrapbooking, right? And then what I did when I was putting the photos in, I really was covering up a lot of my border, and I really loved the border. So I wanted to make sure that was showing through. So I decided to tuck my photos in underneath. And also I thought how my border kind of looks like an extension of the picket fence that they have right in front of the farmer's market there. So I thought that was cute. Not my normal style, having everything touching 100%, but I love it. It's giving me like a collage type feeling. So I really enjoyed that. And then over here, I stayed pretty true to the sketch, mounted these two photos onto one strip of that brown pattern paper, and then I left that one unmatted. So let's talk about embellishing. So if you know me, you know I'm going to say the first thing that I want to do is decide where am I going to put my title and my journaling. So on this layout, I have tons of room down here, but I kind of like having that open kind of free space down there. Since this one's running pretty long, probably tuck my journaling in right there. Maybe bring it off close to the edge. And then my title is gonna go right here. And I think the reason I wanna do that is because I have everything so tight here that I kind of wanna keep everything very tight on the other side as well. So where am I gonna put my embellishment? My biggest embellishment cluster will be right over here, and I'm probably mount my title in that embellishment cluster. I think that's still keeping everything really tight, and I'm probably gonna keep this part wide open, but let's see. Then I thought the other next biggest size cluster will probably go in this general area over here, because I have a lot of open space. And then my smallest cluster, I'm going to just somehow put it around my journaling spot. So let's start with journaling. Will stay there for now. It'll probably be something I type up on a little square just like this. So I'll keep that there as a reference. But for my title, I wanted to bring in this to show you. If you've watched my videos, you know I am loving on the digital art kits. I just find that they're so fun to use and to have, like, so you can create extra embellishments and resize things. And so that's what I did here. I almost rarely buy a matte pack anymore, and I'm leaning more towards getting the digital art kit, especially when it includes a matte pack, because they're so versatile. This one, I shrunk it down and I printed right inside my word processing program. Didn't need any special program like Canva or like Cricut Design Space. I simply printed this via Pages on my Mac, but you can do the same thing in Word. And what I wanted to show you is, let me bring it up closer. I want to use this one right here with the wood grain. It's a little bit lighter wood grain than what I've already used, but I thought it would tie in and kind of highlight my title. And so I love how it has the jaggedy edge around the matte pack. So what I've decided I thought would be fun to do is to kind of recreate that as I trim it off. I didn't really want the blue background for this particular layout, so I wanted to keep the brown only and trim it off. So the outside edge reminded me of the decal blade. So I thought, why not just cut it in that same shape? So let's see if I can get this idea to come to life. So I'm just going to line up, if I could. Let's use the guides. So basically what I did want to do is trim off the one that's there with my deco blade. Okay, so I'm going to hold that really firmly. I'll slide it down to the bottom. Let's get that guide out again. Okay. It's not going to leave much of my paper left, but it'll be enough to see that it's a little piece of wood grain. And there we go. I wanted a smaller area. This will not be for my journaling. This will be for to house my title. So, but it would be super cute down here as well, wouldn't it? Maybe I should make another one. Yeah, that is super cute. Could tuck that in right there for my journaling. Okay. But we're going to go with a block right here for now. Okay, so my idea was to bring it over here and tuck it like that to be the base for my embellishment cluster. Okay, and then my title will be on top of there. But before I forget, I do want to change that blade back really quickly so everything is back. That's what I love about our 12-inch trimmer. It's so easy to change the blade and make a simple cut like that. Okay, everything's back in order, so the next time I go to cut, then I won't be cutting everything with my deco blade. Okay, so what do I have for embellishments? I have the embellishments that came with the collection. These are laser cut embellishments, and if you haven't seen these are just absolutely gorgeous. And I know I say that about so many things, but they really are just cut so nicely, and you'll see a lot of them are variegated with colors. I can do this with the digital art kit on my Cricut, but I don't think that they would be as nice, to tell you the truth. These are just gorgeous. Some of them have gold foiling on them, so Creative Memories really outdid themselves with this one, but making them laser cut with gold embellishments, just super, super gorgeous, and they're just scream out autumn, right? Okay, so what am I going to use for this collection? We also have the sticker pack that goes along with this collection. Okay, you can see I've already dipped into it a little bit, and I'm not going to use the border stickers for this one, so I did not bring those out. Okay, so these are some great words, some great titles. I love this one. Is probably what I'm going to use is Happy Harvest, but then this Autumn Vibes is also super cute. I love this one for my pumpkin patch because, you know, those all obviously apply to this area. So great words and titles, and then really great icons. Okay, so let's get to this and get this page embellished. What I'm going to do is, I really love these wood pieces, and I'm wondering how they're going to look tucked under. Yep, the wood on the wood, you can't really see it too well, but you can definitely tell that it's a wood piece. So let's keep that there for a minute and see if we like it. We'll add one up here as well, and it looks really beautiful. It's just that dark brown is just not showing up that well. But let's see what else we can add. Some really great leaves that you can use for layering. Isn't that beautiful? That really helped that pop out. I'm telling you, I love these new embellishments. Okay. Just a little smaller. Oh, it's going the other direction though. Let's look at that. Oh, yeah, that's cute. Okay, let's keep that there for a minute. I don't really want to use pine cones. Too much maybe. Let's go for a green one. Let's see what green looks like tucked in there. Okay, that's an option. That's an option. See, I'm spreading up into that place already. Since we are at the pumpkin patch, it would be a great place to use some of these pumpkins. I like this one. I just don't know if it's going to be too big. Let's see. Let's get our tool. My multi-purpose tool helps me. I'll put it on the edge and then I can move it around. Oh, that's cute. So if I pop that up onto some foam tape and have it overhanging right into my title a little bit, that would be great. Let me grab some foam tape. Okay, once you put it on foam tape, it makes it a little easier to play with it, right? There. I like that because it's right next to the green pumpkins in our picture too. So that's cute. I'm loving that. I'm loving it. And I'm going to come back to this, take off this Happy Harvest. And I think what I'm going to do is have that coming off the sign just like so. Let's see if I could put that on there gently. There we go. Yep, I love that. And it really added to the photo because I felt like this photo was kind of hanging off to the edge over there. And I think that kicked it up a notch. That kicked it up a couple notches, right? Okay, so for now, I think I'm done with that cluster. Let's come down here to the journaling. We have leaves so far in every one, so I'm kind of feeling like I need some leaves. Pop this off and see if we like it. Okay, let's move this, and it would go in behind. Yeah, I'm thinking it blends in a little too much. Yeah, let's put that one back. We'll save that for another project. For the journaling spot, I think I want to put another pumpkin there. Let's see if we want it over. So our journaling will be tucked under the photo. And then I kind of want to have that pumpkin kind of in that little corner right here to cover up that little spot. I think that would be super cute. Now, before I put this down, I do want to take off the stickiness on this side because I want to be able to slide my journaling card under. And if I don't remove the sticky, then I won't be able to, it'll be completely stuck down. So I use a little bit of powder from my powder tool, and I'll just rub that right on there. So my powder tool is actually broken. The head broke off. So I just take a little bit of it like that and rub it on half of that pumpkin. That way I can lay it down right on top, and then my journaling can still slide in and out. Okay, so it just takes away the stickiness. Then once I adhere my journaling, I could go back and stick a little bit of wet glue under there, but probably won't need to. These Creative Memory stickers have such quality that that's going to be enough to hold it in place. Maybe some acorns. Oh, those are cute. Let's see. Yeah, let's do the acorns. I think that would be cute. Again, I'm going to take a little bit of my powder and I'm just going to put it on this half of the sticker so that it doesn't stick and only half of it will stick. Okay, there we go. Well, that's super cute. Okay, now up here we have, I like what I've already placed up here. I think I'm going to keep that. Let's see over here. There's this one. It says Pumpkin Kisses. And you know what? Actually, I think I will use this one because I'm going to slide this up a little bit and put it like, I'll put this up onto some foam tape. So I want to add pumpkins to this third cluster so that I have that visual triangle of pumpkins. I was thinking at first I would snip that off and just put that, but I like having the words there because I also have words in all my other clusters. So over here I have Happy Harvest. In this cluster I'll have the journaling, which will have words, but I also have right here in the photo some words in the actual photo, which looks like it's part of the cluster. So I think having that up there is great. So let me get a little foam tape. Okay, so now that I have it on foam tape, you can see what I mean once I get my hand out of there. There, you see how that having the words in all three areas really helps to bring your eye through your layout. Okay, so one last detail is right over here. I feel like I do need something else maybe coming out from underneath the pumpkins. So I did go and get a couple of my leaf punches. This one is a spring leaf, and I'm just going to cut a couple and see which ones I like. Okay, so there's one, and now I also brought in the 5-leaf punch. Both of these punches are still available. I use this 5-leaf punch all the time. I love this punch. I chose the brown because already on our layout. So my idea here is to have it kind of coming out the bottom like that. So I have that one, and then I have this one. We can use both, maybe. I would want to do them different colors. I'm actually leaning a little more toward the spring leaf. Move it up, have it pointing up instead of down. There, now we can move the whole thing around. I stuck that pumpkin onto that leaf. There we go. Yeah, I like it. I'm just going to move it a little bit. There, I like it. Okay, so let me get everything adhered down, and then I'll be right back and I'll bring in the layouts from the last 2 days and we'll compare according to our sketch. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so here we are. Everything is adhered down. I just love this layout. I love the colors. These colors are just so true to fall. And even though I'm in California, I have to actually go hunting for fall places to go to represent fall. And this is one place we go every year. So I really love that I got this layout done and using this brand new collection. If you don't have this collection, I will have it linked, my link below, and you can jump over to Creative Memories and pick that up. And I'm also really loving this page design that we are using, the sketch with the block of paper and the simple border. It just really makes my scrapbooking a lot easier, and I'm getting my pages done and I think that they're beautiful. So if you are enjoying this series, I'd really appreciate it if you took the opportunity to click that like button. It really would help spread my content to other scrappy friends that would like to maybe follow along with this type of series as well. So this is our third layout. And let me bring back in the first layout from the first day, which was this one, which is probably the most true to the sketch, right? We have the block running right here, full size on one side and a half on the other. And again, our simple border that just adds to the story I'm trying to tell. Then on day 2, you will remember that we took our block and we ran it all along the full length of the double page layout, and then we took our simple border and this time we used a border punch. Also, border stickers would look great right here as well. So we made our block in the center and we kind of framed off our layout by using those borders on the side, and then we also matted it onto a black piece of cardstock. Let me come back to today's layout one more time. There you go, that's all 3 layouts. And I do have a bonus surprise. If you've held on this long in the video, then I do have a bonus because I am actually going to make a 4th video to go with this Keeping It Simple. But I'm not going to do that here on YouTube. I'm going to do that over on my Facebook page on Wednesday, October 5th, which is this Wednesday coming up. I will be doing my bonus video. Over there, I have a series called Workshop Wednesday. If you are not part of my Facebook group, then please feel free to jump over there. I'll have it linked down below in the description. You can just click the link and go right to my Facebook page. So I hope that you come over there and play along with me as I wrap up this series. So thank you very much for watching. I appreciate all of you, your views and your comments and your subscriptions. Until we talk again, take care and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.